Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's graduation ceremony. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. Graduation is one of those milestones in your life. It is an event that celebrates the culmination of hard work, time, and sacrifice. Today marks the beginning of your future. Bond has provided the foundation that allows each of you to launch your careers. I urge you to make the most of it. Today is also an exciting day for your family and friends who have supported you during your studies. They get to share this milestone. They are the ones that will watch you going forward from here, who will continue to support you and celebrate your future successes, as will we at Bond. Bond University is Australia's highest rating university in the Good Universities Guide, earning the most 5-star ratings of any university across an impressive 10 performance indicators. They include, and we're particularly proud of, all of the categories in student satisfaction and the quality of teaching. In all of our faculties, our students have enjoyed success. Bond University law students won 3 of the world's most prestigious legal mooting competitions, defeating challenges from the world's top universities. This is the 3rd consecutive moot win and the 3rd consecutive international moot win. In Olympic terms, this year, Bond law students have effectively won 3 gold and 2 bronze medals. A marvellous achievement. Film and television students entered short films in a competition to market one of Australia's fastest growing franchise, Espresso Essential Coffee for Life. From the 4 that entered, the final winner was determined by the amount of YouTube votes their film received. The short film, Coffee Breakdown, created by Andrea Cordova, Vanessa Kellett, Jamie Parfitt and Michael Porter, was the final winner of the competition. Graduates, you have obtained a first-class degree. As you go here and fulfil your ambition, we hope you will wear with pride the fact that you are a graduate of Bond University. We know you will do us proud. We are certainly extraordinarily proud of you. Congratulations on the attainment of your degree. Well done, and my heartfelt best wishes for the future.
Chancellor, I wish to present to you Professor Paul Wilson for the formal award of the title Professor Emeritus. Professor Paul Wilson has had an interesting and distinguished career as an academic manager, criminologist and media commentator columnist. He was Foundation Dean of the Faculty of Arts at the Queensland University of Technology and subsequently Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences for 8 years at Bond University. He is currently an honorary professor in the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences at Bond. Prior to these appointments, he held academic appointments at the University of Queensland and a number of visiting professorships at American research institutes and universities. Professor Wilson has been a Fulbright Scholar and held the prestigious Library Fellowship at Rutgers University's School of Criminal Justice in Newark, New Jersey. Professor Wilson is the author, or co-author or editor of 30 books on crime and related social issues, the author or co-author of hundreds of academic journal articles or research reports on criminological issues, and was for 6 years Director of Research and at times Acting Director at the Australian Institute of Criminology. As a columnist, he wrote weekly columns for the Herald Sun for 6 years and later fortnightly columns for the Courier Mail for a further 5 years, as well as contributing to newspapers such as the Sydney Morning Herald, The Age and the Sunday Age. His areas of criminological concern are mainly in the areas of violence and the prevention of violence, miscarriages of justice, and the study of genocide and other mass atrocity crimes. He is a listed expert witness to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. In 2003, he was awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia for services to education, particularly as a writer and lecturer in the field of criminology and to the community through raising public awareness of social justice issues. Chancellor, in recognition of his services to Bond University and his considerable academic achievements as a criminologist, I present Paul Wilson, OAM, for formal presentation of certification of his appointment as a Professor Emeritus of Bond University.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have now the honour and privilege to introduce our guest speaker for this afternoon, Mr. Donald Macdonald, AC. Simply put, Mr. Macdonald is a great Australian and, without doubt, the preeminent arts administrator in Australia. He has served organisations such as the Elizabethan Theatre Trust, Musica Viva. He has been General Manager of the Sydney Theatre Company from 1980 to 1986, Chief Executive of the Australian Opera from 1987 to 1996, Chairman of the Australian Broadcasting Commission, and in 2007 was appointed Director of the Australian Classification Board. In addition, Mr. Macdonald is currently Chairman of the Australiana Fund and Chairman of the really useful company Asia Pacific Proprietary Limited. He has served on numerous boards, including as Director of the Sydney Organising Committee for the Olympic Games. He was Chairman of the Constitutional Centenary Federation, a Fellow of the Senate of the University of Sydney, a member of the Australian Tourism Commission, and a Director of the University of New South Wales Foundation. Mr. Macdonald was made an Officer of the Order of Australia in 1991 and promoted to be a Companion of the Order in 2006. This is the highest honour Australia can bestow on one of its citizens. He holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree from the University of New South Wales. In fact, he was in the first cohort of that group, and was awarded an Honorary Doctorate of Letters in 2004. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Macdonald.
Chancellor, thank you for your welcome. I'll put my Jetstar boarding pass away. I don't need that. The Chancellor has been kind enough to mention my present responsibility, which is as Director of the Classification Board. In the old parlance, that's to say up until the end of 1995, that position was called Chief Censor of the Commonwealth. I rather like that. It's a bit more colourful. I mean, Director of the Classification Board's a bit Orwellian because nobody knows what it means. I mean, I could be classifying cattle for all anybody knows, and sometimes it looks as though I am. But anyway, that's what it is. We classify films, DVDs, computer games and publications, some publications. I'm not going to talk a lot about censorship or classification because it gets a bit arcane, but everybody's sort of interested in some aspects of it. And it's not censorship like the Andrew Bolt case was sort of censorship. Ours is determining whether a film will be G, PG, MA15+, or indeed whether it will be denied classification, which actually doesn't happen very often. The legislation under which we operate is very clear. It says at the outset that adults should be free to read, hear and see what they want. Now, it's pretty plain talk. Adults should be able to read, hear and see what they want. It goes on to say that minors should be protected from material that may harm or disturb them, that people should be protected from unsolicited material. In other words, you shouldn't come across something alarming unexpectedly, and community concerns about violence, and especially about sexual violence, have to be taken account of. And we've got the schedules to the Act are very detailed, and a great deal of the material that comes before our board almost classifies itself. It so obviously falls into one of the slots. It's only when we get to borderlines, and it's not the extreme things, whether they're X18 plus or R18 plus, they're sort of easy to do. It's the borderlines between G and M or M and MA15 plus that get hard, and people get worked up about these things. So there we are, films, DVDs, computer games and some publications. Some publications means those that the Act says have to be submitted, and that's mostly directed at what might be wistfully called adult publications, sort of man magazines, sort of girly magazines and things. However, sometimes, very surprisingly, we get straight off into other publications. About 3 years ago, some members of the Senate got very worked up about two publications in particular. They were Dolly Magazine and Girlfriend, and that was because they both had in them sealed sections with quite detailed sexual advice for young women. And some of the senators thought this was outrageous, and I had to appear before a Senate committee, and one of them saying, how could you possibly have permitted this to be published? And I said, well, the information, it had been done before I was the director, but anyway, I would have taken exactly the same position, and that was that the information in these sealed sections wasn't at all exciting. It was very medically and factually expressed, and almost in every case there was a sort of ethical message at the end of each activity that was being described, which was saying, in effect, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do any of this, this is so you know. And anyway, one senator, a youngish man, surprisingly, was sort of trembling with outrage about this, and he said, yeah, how could you possibly? I said, well, Senator, if a young woman buys this magazine and she reads about oral sex, I'm sorry if I'm going to offend anybody, if she reads about oral sex, I'd rather that she read about it in this form, because all she has to do is go to her computer and tap in the words oral sex, and she will get thousands of items about it. Anyway, I never talk about what I do at work, at home, because it's sort of easier not to, and why burden your wife with what's going on at work? Anyway, the next morning she rang me first thing in the hospital and said, I've just been reading the Herald and it says you were talking to the Senate about oral sex. Is it true about all these things on the internet? And I said, yes, it is. 10 minutes later the phone rang again and she said, I just typed in oral sex. And she said, there are thousands of entries. Well, I checked yesterday, and my wife is a conservative woman, and she was probably even being a bit conservative then. On the site, if you put in oral sex for women, you will get 16.5 million references. If you type in oral sex for men, you'll get 37,400,000, approximately. I don't know why there's more than twice as many for men, but you can work that out. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go on about oral sex because, well, you're all graduates, you know about these things anyway. My point in mentioning this is that there's a publication which any of us would think was inoffensive, but it upset people. But there is another place, the internet, where there is limitless, potentially offensive things. And from when I became the director of the Classification Board, I felt that even though our legislation came into operation in 1996, that already events had rapidly overtaken it. That our legislation works perfectly well for public exhibition movies and DVDs and up to a point for computer games, but the technology has so overpaced what we do. And so I urged the government, as I felt obliged to say, this law needs to be looked at, and I'm very happy to say that early this year the Attorney General referred our legislation to the Australian Law Reform Commission, which has the job of coming up with recommendations to the government about changes to this legislation, and they will need to be wholesale because it is changing very fast. Now, I know some of you have been studying law and some of you have been studying the arts and media-related things, and what I'm saying to you is that you're going into a fantastically exciting world. It is changing very fast. In a way, it always has. I mean, if you're as old as I am, you've seen so many changes, it doesn't really matter. But you're going into that world at a time of infinite possibilities. And hearing the Chancellor run through that summary of my CV, I thought it really is about time I retired. You know, too many jobs there. But in fact, there weren't too many jobs there. I started off as an accountant, as an auditor with Price Waterhouse. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but that was on the way to doing something that was going to interest me. What I would urge you, I'm not saying my career has been a model. Does anybody talk about career paths anymore? Hope they don't, because I think it's a stupid notion. You can't have a career path. All you can know about what you're going to do tomorrow morning, if you're lucky. What I would urge, though, is be courageous. Don't be afraid to give it a go. Don't worry too much about the money. Don't worry about the security. Try things. It's a cliche, but you're only going to live this day once. And if you're not satisfied with what you're doing and not enjoying it, you won't necessarily be able to change your job that day. But look to getting towards doing the things you want to do and grab opportunities. I've made a couple of howlers in my life, which the Chancellor was kind enough not to mention, but give it a go. And it's all out there waiting for bright young people like you. Enjoy it. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to the graduates, and congratulations also to those people who are receiving doctorates today. This gorgeous costume I was given by the University of New South Wales for my honorary doctorate. This is the only way I get close to Kylie Minogue. She got her honorary doctorate this week, and I got mine for about as good a reasons as Kylie got hers. But for people who've really earned their doctorates and the degrees below them, congratulations to you. Congratulations to your families, because you know how much support you've had from them. You know how much it has mattered to them. Enjoy it from here on. Thank you.
Well, I can guarantee you that none of you will ever forget that graduation address. Donald, thank you so much for a wonderful, entertaining address that was purpose-built for an audience of arts, film and law students, that brings together your professional career in a way that gives meaning to our graduates. The messages about the pace of change, the messages, I won't say about oral sex, the messages about being courageous, and the messages around doing what you want to do, living for today, with obviously an eye on the future, but being true to yourself, which is the underlying message, is something that Donald has done in his life, doing it to a level of excellence that is an exemplar for all in the arts. I had the privilege of working with Donald when he was General Manager of the Australian Opera, before it was Opera Australia. I was at that stage Deputy Chairman of Opera Australia, and Donald was the General Manager of the Opera Company. He did it in such a way, with such passion, with such commitment to the art form, but he did it his way. And that is the way he's led his life, and that is the way he urges you to lead your lives. Can I ask you to join me again in thanking Donald? Well, that wasn't supposed to happen, was it?
Would all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduates who are in attendance today for admission to awards of Bond University. From the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, 86 graduates. From the Faculty of Law, 72 graduates. I certify that the graduates have satisfied the requirements for admission to the award for which they are being presented.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit you to the awards for which you have qualified. I also admit to their awards those candidates listed in the graduation program who are unable to be here today.
Please be seated.
I now ask the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences to present his graduands.
Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduands. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Gabriela Andrade Gorab. Hongfeng Deng. Xu Tong. Rebecca Louise Vincent. Aya Wu. Kavisara Watana Trinukul. For the degree of Bachelor of Communication, Thea Dickinson. Chloe Patricia Johnson. Reese Charles Ma. Wei Quan Yan. For the degree of Bachelor of Communication Business, Elizabeth Jane Collins. Eloise Francis. William Gary Fetke. Elizabeth Dawn Kent. Sophia Elizabeth Kerr. Natalie Renee Majetic. Dougal McGuinness. Kate Alexis Murray. Peggy Nomikos. Dean Charles Cashmore Wilkinson. For the degree of Bachelor of Computer Games, Michael James Cooper. Elliot Green. Max Johnston. For the Bachelor of Counselling, Alex Faith Collis. Azra Halilovic. Sue Gordana Hemara. Carla Ann Simpson. For the degree of Bachelor of International Relations, Lisa Ann Bunderson. Elise Corbett. Andrew James Keep. Philip Gordon Nawadi. Hannah Marie Parsons. Monica Paskovich. Daniel James Ryan. For the Bachelor of International Relations Business, Celine Di Loro. Caitlin May Longden. Elise Ailing Lim Middleton. Jason Hamilton Oberhofer. For the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of International Relations Business, Siobhan Ashley Kennedy Bush. For the Bachelor of Journalism, Ashley Michelle Gleeson. Andra Athiancia Nasri. Christina Marie Webb. For the Bachelor of Multimedia Design and Advertising, Andrea Cordova. Mitchell Young. For the Bachelor of Social Sciences, Roxanne Sarah Heap. For the Bachelor of Social Sciences in Criminology, Janya Cohen. Terence James Cullen. Taylor Hawke. The Bachelor of Social Science in Criminology and Bachelor of Social Science Psychology, Elizabeth Rose Briggs. For the Bachelor of Social Science and Psychology, Amy Ballantine. Daniel Spencer McStay. Hayley Catherine Very. Lara Alice Wilson. Bachelor of Social Science Psychology Honours with Second Class Honours Division B, Mariam Elias. Bachelor of Social Science Psychology Honours with Second Class Honours Division A, Ruben Jamison. Postgraduate Diploma of Behaviour Management and Postgraduate Diploma in Counselling, Aude Jeanne-Marie Etourneau. Shifang Tan. The Postgraduate Diploma of Psychology, Lisa Marie Appleby. Leah-Ani Booth. Diane Kaur. Nikini Prasansa Gunatilaki. Rachel Ann Harker. Elise Chloe McNeil. Jasmine Salas. Carolyn Frances Matizio Stevens. Apsara Telwati. Michelle Ann Waters. The Master of Arts by Coursework, Kai Henning Homeyer. Master of Communication and Advertising, Taiba Al-Murshid. For the Master of Communication and Business, Anya Kaskeli. Jade Kelly. Trang Nguyen. Julia Wren. Amanda Strew. For the Master of Communication in Public Relations, Constanze Beutler. Master of Criminology, Mackenzie Elizabeth Annie Barnett. Christina Daniel Bledig. Gaëlle Laurence Marie Amonique. The Master of International Relations, Francisca Helena Elmer. Sarah Lengauer. Tara O'Flaherty. For the degree of Master of International Relations, Laws, Nathaniel Julian Moat. The Master of Psychology, Clinical, Claire Alice Marshall. For the Doctorate of Creative Arts in Film and Television, Dominic Munch. And Chancellor for the Doctorate of Philosophy or PhD, I present Jackson Ewing. This thesis by Dr. Ewing is titled Environmental Security in Mindanao, a Case for Comprehensive Methods. It explores the environmental security area of international relations and employs new approaches to address those challenges. The thesis employs unique theoretical frameworks to illuminate causal pathways by which environmental factors can contribute to instability and a variety of security threats. The thesis details the case of instability and violence in regions of Mindanao and the southern Philippines, where Dr. Ewing spent significant time in 2008, and through this case study suggests a framework for future environmental security research. The theoretical work undertaken by Dr. Ewing has far broader application than the Philippines examples. His work's been accepted as being important to the field of international relations. One examiner remarked, the international relations subfield of environmental security has benefited from this work, and thanks to Mr. Ewing's efforts, future scholars will have a more sophisticated framework of analysis within their reach. Another examiner commended Dr. Ewing by stating that the discussion is logical, sufficiently detailed and well-paced. Words are well chosen and the central arguments presented with welcome clarity of thought. These qualities are evident throughout the thesis, and he recommended immediate publication for the benefit of scholars working in the field. Since completing his PhD, Dr. Ewing has continued his work as a research fellow at the Rajaratnam School of International Studies at Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. Dr. Ewing.
I now ask the Dean of the Faculty of Law to present her graduates.
Chancellor, today we recognise Karen Marjorie Owen with a posthumous award for the Bachelor of Jurisprudence. Karen commenced her studies in the Bachelor of Laws in the Faculty of Law in September 2005 and completed 16 subjects with highly commendable results. Chancellor, Karen's husband Evan, along with daughters Lauren and Jacqueline, are here to accept Karen's award for the Bachelor of Jurisprudence. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present the following graduates from the Faculty of Law for the award of Bachelor of Laws: Isiya Adamji, Benjamin Lee Avis, Nicole Oilder Baumer, Lisa Ann Bunderson, Elise Corbett, Zoe Annabelle Davis, Raisa Esak, Lauren Emma Gain, Ashley Michelle Gleason, Bryce James Gregg, James Edward Gwinnane, Taylor Hawke, Si Ya Huang, Timothy Christopher Jones, Andrew James Keep. Ricky Laurie Athol Marcourt. Damien Daniel Manganero. Shireen O'Meara. Hannah Marie Parsons. Monica Paskowicz. Nicole Marie Stanton. Kelly Jade Taylor. Nicholas McElwraith Taylor. Gloria Vicario. Victor Vicario. For the award of Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Laws, Carlos Harold Correa. For the award of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws, Alexander Timothy Daniel Blue. Glenn Peter Collier Harwood. Anna Elizabeth McKillop. For the award of Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours, Division B, Steen Cooper. Caitlin May Longden. For the award of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours, Division B, Shannon Melissa Gregor. For the award of Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours, Division A, Paige Christine Edwards. Zain Ismail Kazi. Cameron Peter Walsh-Buckley. For the award of Bachelor of Biomedical Science and Bachelor of Laws with Second Class Honours, Division A, Ellie McKay. For the award of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws with second-class honours, Division A, Angelica Barbot. Travis Monsco. For the award of Bachelor of Laws with first-class honours, Byron Kennedy Frost. Daniel James Ryan. For the award of Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws with first-class honours, Emily Catherine Bain. For the award of Postgraduate Diploma in Legal Practice, Alexandra Marty Brewer. Shannon Dutt. For the award of Juris Doctor, Lyndall Cordaro. Sonia Lachelle Das. Lisa Dawn Franco. Anatesh Ram Govind. Georgia Cortas. Mickey Levy. Rochelle Iromi Pereira. Nicholas Alexander Pitt. Sanjit Kaur Ray. Nikki Randhawa. Jordana Rotman. For the award of Juris Doctor with second-class honours, Division B, Brandon Michael Arment. Sun Wang Chang. Ju Fang. Christine Jackson. Stephen Cogan. Eleni Helen Kotsabokidis. Sophia Lowe. Stephanie Nielsen. Justin Reinhold Seitz. Alison Yule. For the award of Juris Doctor with second class honours, Division A, Jamie Alexander Bruce. Ying Liang He. Justin Myers. For the award of Juris Doctor with first class honours, Christopher Pintang. For the award of Master of Laws, Corporate and Commercial Law, with high distinction, Alexander Elijah Kudlaka. For the award of Master of Laws, Dispute Resolution, Chin Jing Lu. Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Damien Lawrence Lockie for the award of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Lockie's thesis was entitled Closing Pandora's Box, a case for carbon market integrity after the global financial crisis, conditioning ownership of the right to emit greenhouse gases in an Australian emissions trading scheme. The Federal Parliament is currently debating carbon pricing legislation to create a clean energy future for Australia. The key policy initiative is the creation of an Australian carbon market for trading entitlements to emit greenhouse gases. This very topical thesis studies the potential for abuse in that market. In the government's plan, only some emitters will be caught by the scheme. These emitters, called liable entities, will be required to surrender to the government sufficient emissions rights to cover their emissions of greenhouse gases. However, participation in the carbon market is open to everybody, so liable entities will compete not just with other liable entities, but also with other players in the market who face no obligation to reduce their own emissions. Dr. Lockie's thesis argues that the scope for abuse in Australia's carbon market will be reduced if all players in the carbon market face the same potential liability under the carbon pricing legislation, and his thesis offers reform proposals to level the playing field. These reforms include synchronising ownership of emissions units and obligations under the carbon pricing legislation, tougher registry account opening procedures, and introducing an enhanced carbon market integrity regime. His supervisor was Professor Michael Weir, Chancellor Dr. Damien Lawrence Lockie.
I now call upon the Acting Vice-Chancellor and President to read the Bond University charge to the graduates.
Would all graduates please stand? I charge you, as graduates of Bond University, to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply and continue to extend your learning to the benefit of society, to strive through your actions to promote the universal worth of all people, to pursue the highest standards in all of your endeavours so that in fulfilling your personal goals and human responsibilities, you add to the standing of your university, and to support and uphold your university and its alumni through engagement with the Bond Alumni Organisation and through your personal commitment. You may now be seated.
I am now pleased to invite Amy Ballantine to deliver the valedictory address on behalf of her fellow graduates. Amy graduates today with a Bachelor of Social Science in Psychology. In her 24-subject degree, Amy achieved 15 high distinctions and 9 distinctions. Her cumulative percentage average was 85%. Amy has been on the Vice-Chancellor's High Achievers list for academic excellence in 4 out of 6 semesters. Her studies facilitated her volunteer work as a counsellor with Paradise Kids. This charity provides counselling and support for teaching life skills to children who are suffering grief through either the loss of a loved one or other emotional turmoil in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me in welcoming Amy Ballantine.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, faculty members, proud family and friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. Good afternoon, and a heartfelt congratulations to all of those who graduated today. I am truly honoured to stand here today as your valedictorian to reflect and share with you memories of the history we have created here at Bond University. As I stand here, I tremendously regret not taking my Grenby's public speaking class. Whilst the words of my mother, "It will be of great use in the future, Amy," echo in my mind. Hindsight truly is an amazing thing. Being asked to represent all the students graduating today is not an easy task. Each of us has no doubt had vastly different experiences here at Bond University. You will all have your own stories, events, and emotions to remember Bond by. I know for myself as a psychology student, my experience here at Bond often involved answering the age-old, "So, you're a psych student, does that mean you can read my mind?" Unfortunately not. What I can tell you is that I've spent much of the last 2 years secretly analysing and diagnosing my fellow obsessive-compulsive, paranoid delusional, codependent and multiple personality bondies at social events, along with answering the question of what advice I could provide people for their friend who had this problem or that problem. However, whether we are law, psychology, film and television, international relations, or students representative of any other degree, whether we live on or off campus, and whether we are local, interstate or international students, we all have one thing in common today. Today, all of us proudly hold degrees from this great university. Today, all of us, decked out in our trendy academic attire, have the simple and satisfying pleasure of knowing that we made it, that all the hard work, the sleepless nights, the nutritious diet of caffeine and sugar, the supremely repressed social lives, those endless lectures and assignments, and of course nerve-wracking exam blocks, all were worth the outcome that we together have achieved today. Whilst these memories may trigger a sense of post-traumatic stress for some, it was these sacrifices we made in the very recent past that have enabled us to stand here today holding a piece of our future. I am extremely proud to be amongst a group of such talented individuals. Each and every one of us in this room today is part of a unique history that will inspire change. But what brings us together as a group is that we came to Bond University to learn. Benjamin Franklin once said, "An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest." And well, for most of us, Bond definitely was an investment, but the education we have received here is an investment in our future and a legacy to carry with us to our prospective careers, whatever they may be. Certainly for me, and for most of us I suspect, the time spent here at Bond has been filled with crazy memories for which we will cherish. But most of all, enduring friendships with people from all corners of the globe. What makes Bond University truly unique, in my opinion, is the diversity of people you encounter. It has enabled us all to form enduring friendships and develop truly global networks. They say once you become a Bondie, you have a place to stay anywhere in the world. Graduates, when you look around at your fellow students today, we all innately understand the unique connection we share as Bondies. This wouldn't be an adequate valediction speech, therefore, without acknowledging the many unique experiences and simple pleasures of life here at Bond. Dons on a Thursday night, orientation week pub crawl chants, foggy memories of palaver, White House and law ball, the fun of the res blocks, toga speeches under the arch, business first law rugby, Wednesday by the water, and the daily car stalking mission to obtain a coveted parking space. Not to mention the territorial stares from the law student when a non-law student enters the lawbree, the laid-back, almost to asleep coolness of the film and television students, the avoidance of eye contact with overzealous booster campaigners, the frustrating experience of East student, the persistent countdown to the launch of the new Island site, and of course, the indescribable suffering of the brasserie food for all of those who have lived on campus. While those simple pleasures were certainly indulged, and for some I mean truly indulged, a sense of community and cultural vibrancy seemed to follow you everywhere. From the uni parties you attended to the lectures and tutorials you sat through during the week. But this spirit of community coexisted alongside an inevitable sense of individual purpose. A desire to get the best out of yourself academically, a hunger to be engaged and challenged intellectually. I'd like to think that this hunger was the desire to invoke the motto of Bond University, a hunger to bring ambition to life. But even if each of us here this afternoon had additional motives for being here, for completing our degrees, I know that all of us in our journeys here at Bond have met that one lecturer or tutor who pricked our curiosity, stimulated us to engage in wider reading, compelled us to question and develop a sense of skepticism, and inspired us to follow along a particular path. However, that intellectual curiosity is not innate. We are not born with it. Rather, it emerges when we are exposed to that extraordinary lecturer or tutor for the first time. That lecturer or tutor who creates a learning environment in which you feel encouraged and compelled to challenge and explore your own thoughts. Those lecturers whose classes leave you with lingering questions long after your scheduled 2 hours is over. It is those lecturers whose love and passion for their subjects compels you to make that passion your own. But our lecturers have taught us much more than the practical skills required to conduct research or write essays and reports. They have instilled in us important life skills that will endure long after our time here at Bond. So I'd like to take this moment to thank all of those who made our journeys possible. Thank you to our lecturers for imparting their significant knowledge upon us. Thank you to our tutors who decipher and translate what significant knowledge actually is. Thank you to Bond University for going above and beyond all expectations to enable us to learn. Thank you to the Australian Government for allowing us all to accrue such large debts. Thank you to our Student Council and many representatives across all faculties who made it a pleasure to proudly stand and acknowledge that we are Bondies. But most of all, thank you to our family and our friends, whom we sometimes neglect. Without your endless love, support and encouragement, this moment would not have been possible for many of us today. So I leave you this afternoon with one final quote. I need to believe that something extraordinary is possible. These were the words of Nobel Prize winner John Nash, whom some of you may recall from the film A Beautiful Mind. Born in 1928, Nash developed and applied mathematical theories to the field of economics. With a truly stupendous intellect and unique ingenuity, he became an exemplary scholar. However, nothing in life comes easily. In 1959, Nash was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. His once enviable life shattered by mental illness. In 1994, after 9 years of intermittent and arduous hospitalisations, Nash overcame his struggles and was awarded the prestigious Nobel Prize. This is not to say that each of us graduating today can win a Nobel Prize if we just try hard enough, but to highlight that mere fact that Nash saw his struggle as an opportunity to overcome the inevitable challenges and difficulties life presents. And so, my fellow graduates, we acknowledge that nothing is ever handed to you in life. The accomplishment of your dreams and your goals, like today, is only possible through dedication, passion, and effort. Don't ever become easily discouraged. Believe in yourself. Stay determined in the face of whatever adversity confronts you, and never let your fears hold you back. Believe that something extraordinary is possible. Thank you.
Amy, we believe something extraordinary is possible. Thank you for your reminiscences. Thank you for your insight into the psychology of a psychology student. Thank you for your wisdom about the enduring friendships, the diversity of students that will endure post-bond. This, we hope, has been a wonderful experience, and I think Amy has captured that. Will you join me, please, in thanking Amy? Today is about and for our newest graduates. However, as Amy has indicated, there are two other important groups of people that should not be overlooked. Graduates, your friends and family have put up with your assignments, perhaps your grumblings at times, relief, as I understand it, from the brasserie food that Amy has alluded to. We take that on notice. Yet, throughout it all, they have supported you in your endeavours. It is appropriate, therefore, to acknowledge the importance of that support. Can I ask the graduates to join me in thanking their families and friends? The second group we need to acknowledge, Amy also referred to, and that is, of course, the faculty. We know they go way, way beyond the ordinary. They are also extraordinary. And in acknowledging them, Amy truly captured what they do. I hadn't heard before that the tutors interpret what the lecturers say, but that's fine. They are truly an extraordinary bunch. Can the graduates join me in thanking the faculty? I encourage each of you, in closing, to build on the experiences that you have had by joining a Bond alumni network and continuing to contribute to the university in any way that you can. And if you don't contribute to the university, I urge you to reach out to the community more broadly. I now formally close this afternoon's ceremony, and I invite the valedictorian, Amy Ballantine, and our newest graduates to join me in the procession. Equally, I invite all of you to join us in the infamous, or the famous, I should say, Don's Tavern, which is directly beneath this hall. However, we know that the graduates need no introduction to Dons.